breath. We have the breath. The breath is the understanding of this truth. Like I just read in Baruch, the 4th chapter, how the word would gather us throughout the 4 winds of the earth, from east to west, would be gathered by the word. That's not breath. The breath is the wisdom and understanding of this Bible. Like the brother said, this Bible has a spirit to it. Okay, and basically, the spirit of this book is obviously the Holy Spirit, or the spirit of Yahawashi. Right. Okay, and we've been gathered amongst each other today as it stands right now. You know, as this brother right here, he's from the States. We're in England. You got brothers in Holland. Okay, and even the brothers from Holland, they came down here as well to break bread with us. So this word has been gathering us back to the forefront, back to the truth, to where we need to be. Okay, and that's the spirit of the word. Yeah, go on.
Like the scriptures say, man, if you come to do the work of the Lord, basically prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right.
Paul also said that we're the most miserable of all men, because all we have in this world is the faith of Yahawashi. That's not like a cakewalk, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like, coming into this don't make your life easy. It don't make it no easy. Don't get that like misconstrued in any way. Like it gets completely frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, it does. And it's supposed to.
And like you said, man, that's why in Hebrews actually it says not to forsake gathering of brothers.
Right.
Because it's important to congregate. It's important to stay in the spirit.
Because we're all we have, man. We're literally all we have. Yeah? We're all we got, man. What's that?
I say just got to be just the other side of the bollards.
Oh yeah, no, because some woman came up
station
2 weeks
manager.
ago,
Yeah.
and she was saying you should be parked behind the poles. So that's why we pushed over it.
Yeah, so as long as you just get your stuff out.
Okay.
Because if somebody trips over it, they're going to want to sue us.
Yeah.
Instead of suing you.
Okay. I didn't know it was that serious.
It's private land.
Yeah.
I don't even know it's a station.
Okay.
So what you do just there, fine, no problem at all.
Okay, so you want us to put it?
As long as you just put it around there, then that's it. Then there's no issues, and you can knock yourself out. Lovely. Have a good day.
You as well, man.
I thought there's no issue just having the bags there. We're just making it an issue.
Yeah. So we're
demons.
literally we got all these people like they always don't looking at their people, their spirits, man. Yeah. All these spirits walking up and down, homo spirits, sodomite spirits, adultery spirits. You have to stay alone. When you get in this truth, you realize you have to stay alone. You know too much. Man. We're like the Illuminati, man. You gotta stay away from the average person, man.
And what does the word Illuminati mean, brother?
They're landlords.
That's the spirit. You about to go in.
We're the right hand side Illuminati.
You see, people get it twisted. People think that when you, like, for example, let's say I said right to you, I'm a Luciferian. People, let's say I told a random person that, they would think, oh, I'm a devil worshiper.
Yeah.
But the word Lucifer means the light.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So we are the Luciferians. You got a lot of guys on YouTube chatting shit about, see, they say they're Luciferians and they're part of the Illuminati. No, it's just that we know what the word is. We're going based on what the word means.
Right.
So
And subtleties out there, man.
So you're going to finish up that?
Okay, I just wanted to make that point. I'm going to get back to scripture. Yeah.
Yeah, but we finished that book one.
Yeah, finish that one.
Let's go back to 7 verse 24.
So Wisdom of Solomon 7:24, and it says, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. It says, for wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of the Most High, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty.
Right, so it said that wisdom is the very breath of the Most High, which is more pure than any emotion. Something that's pure can't enter into a malicious soul. Because wisdom can't enter into the 2/3 of our people. They're the wickedness sanctioned for wickedness, man.
And it says, and therefore cannot defiled thing fall into her.
So therefore no defiled thing can fall into her.
For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High.
The unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High. So wisdom is like the mirror of the Most High. She's basically like the reflector of the Most High. So when wisdom enters into us, the image of the Most High enters into us, man.
And it says, and the image of his goodness.
See, the image of his goodness. Wisdom is the image of the goodness of the Most High, man. See,
That's
there's
why-
some people that say, oh,
It's like
I said, basically, they say, they're like, we're all created in this image.
right.
That is the image.
Right. That's
When
exactly what I was gonna say, bro.
When wisdom
I'm gonna
enters
do one.
into you, you become in the image of the Most High.
Okay, I'll
You
come and
become
see it.
like
Tell you another one. I'll come and see it.
like a physical. You become
not today.
demon, man. You become like
I'll ring it, I'll
a
ring it.
mini Most High on earth.
Yo, thanks.
You become like a mini creator.
We are God.
You become like, exactly. You become like a physical miniature version of the Most High on a spiritual level. You know, you're a reflection of Him because we're His sons, man. That's why I said, on earth as it is in heaven.
Right. Matthew 6.
You know. Go ahead.
Verse 27, it says, and being but one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new.
She maketh all things new. Because we becoming what? A new man. Casting off the old man. Putting on the image of the one that created us, man. Go ahead.
And in all ages, entering into the holy souls,
Entering into holy souls. Go ahead.
Oh, and that's why it says, I don't cut you, brother. And that's why it says, to the pure, all things are pure.
Right. Go ahead.
and in all ages, entering into holy souls, she maketh them friends of the Most High
And maketh them
prophets.
friends of the Most High and prophets. So we become prophets, man. Okay? Because this wisdom is entered into us. You going more?
It says, for the Most High loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the order of stars, being compared with the light, she is found before it. For after this cometh night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom.
Alright, so that's on that. But let's go back to that Daniel chapter 12. We'll finish that off.
Okay.
Because I liked how that, them that dwell in the dust shall wake up to everlasting life, man. Because those of us that wake up to this, when we get delivered, we're never gonna grow old, man. When I say grow old, I don't mean like we're gonna be like 1,000, 100,000 years old, 1 million, 200 million years old.
That's going to be.
Yeah, no, I can imagine it. A billion, a fortune. We're gonna be so old we can't even put a number on it. When a mere mortal asks us how old we are, we're gonna see like I'm as old as time. Imagine that. You're just gonna say imagine time itself. I'm as old as that, and you still look young. You still look young. Imagine that. God damn, man. That's gonna be us getting Gaudium forever.
I'm going to just say, we're going to live a long time. We're going to live a long time.
Imagine that, though.
Spirit, you don't get cold when brothers in the spirit like that.
No, you know what I'm saying? You don't even need a walking stick. Grow, grey hairs and shit. No, man, imagine that you're gonna have a woman that looks good for eternity. Her breast never gets saggy. She always produces some milk. She'll give birth to 1 million babies. God damn.
That's gonna
a
make
million
Israel-
babies.
Oh,
Imagine
my.
that a black woman that's giving birth to 200 million children and can still keep giving birth.
Yeah.
Her body will never hit the wall. Her walls is gonna be tight. Okay, go ahead, man.
And this is St. John. This is a priest about Falcon. This is St. John 5, verse 29. And shall come forth they that have done good. Why are you always doing this, man? Like I don't understand. I don't get it. Like
That's no one, yeah.
y'all brushing on shot. Like I don't understand why these people be doing that, man. I mean, like you see the things over there. Why the hell you gonna walk over there for?
Yeah, it's heathens, isn't it? It's heathens.
God damn, man. These devils, you know what? I'm starting to really believe that these devils can't see them. That's what I'm starting to believe. Anyway, let's move on. Salakia.
Let me go back to the scripture. Trust me, it's going to be for real. The kingdom, we can't even fathom it now. What we can do is think and meditate. The same way it says, thy heart shall meditate terrors. Our mind is also meditating righteousness. Alright?
Yeah,
Because we're literally going to be gods, man. The other nations, they're going to be in reverence to us forever, man. Even when we let we give the other nations, give them their little portion of land and whatever, they're still going to be revering us, man. Go ahead.
Right, it says, this is John 5:29, and shall come forth. Matter of fact, I saw verse 28. It says, marvel not at this.
Remember Daniel's 12?
Yeah, I'm going to get that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is just a precept.
Okay.
Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in the which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice, and shall come forth, and they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation.
Fine, let me, what's this?
That goes right into the Daniel's 12. That hits right on.
What's this verse?
This is John 5:29-30.
John 5:20. Read that again.
Yeah, it says, this is John 5 verse 29, and shall come forth that they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation.
Okay, so resurrection. What does the word resurrection mean? It means the thing that will rise. Res meaning erection and excuse me, resurrection. Erection means basically to rise, and res means
Thing.
the thing.
Yeah, like erection, isn't it?
Erection,
Rise,
right,
like rise, isn't it? Yeah? We're back on the topic. If you ain't putting your heads between tits.
Yeah, this guy, man. You got calm down, bro.
Me? I gotta calm down.
Both of y'all gotta calm down.
We're basically preaching about the kingdom to come according to the Bible. Basically, we're the Hebrew Israelites. We're the Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah. That's what we are.
Okay.
Even you.
Okay.
Even you yourself are also an Israelite. When you read the Bible, you're reading about us. Okay? We're not Africans and we're not black.
Yeah.
Okay? Our ancestors knew that we spoke Hebrew.
Hebrew, yeah.
Okay? We're the Israelites.
Okay.
And the scriptures say that our kingdom is coming for us on this earth.
Yeah.
Where we're going to rule over the other nations then. Alright, so that's what we're speaking about. Go ahead.
And that's the scripture.
He was coming. This man here,
What's his name?
Yahawashi. Yahawashi.
Yahawashi. That's Jesus.
Right.
Yeshua.
No, Yeshua. Yahawashi. Yahawashi.
But you know that the name is spiritual.
I've never heard that
She
name.
can't get it.
Yeah.
Yahawashi.
Yahawashi.
So when Jesus coming, I think Jesus is coming, isn't he?
Yeah. Get Revelations 1 verse, you know.
Revelation,
7.
yes.
One, you know that one.
I'll get that.
1 verse 13.
No.
Because
Revelation
what
1.
according to the Bible, it says what Jesus Christ looked like. Okay, there's no evidence, there's no verse that says that Jesus looked like this.
No,
Right.
there's no evidence for that.
There's no
We
evidence.
just say this, but we don't have any evidence.
Like when I went to Nigeria, because my family's from Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm
there's
from Nigeria too.
Igbo.
Yeah.
Right. When you go to Lagos, there's a church there, and there's like a big statue of a white Jesus. So I forget the name of the church.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's a Roman Catholic church.
Yeah.
And there's a big statue. All the people there is us, but then they're worshiping a white Jesus. So obviously there's no scripture, there's no evidence that he looked like that. But go on, read that.
Yes, please.
Listen to this.
Yeah, this is Daniel's not. He's gonna get Revelations 1.
Revelation 1:13.
I'm gonna get Daniel's 10.
She knows about it.
This is Daniel's 10, verse 5, and it says, then I looked up mine eye and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded
Yeah.
with the fine gold of Uphaz.
Yeah, gold.
Good.
God, good.
His body was also like the beryl, which beryl is like a kind of green,
Yeah.
and his face as the appearance of lightning, which means because he had an aura about him.
Yeah.
He was a wise person.
Ecclesiastes 8:1.
Yep.
Yeah, like in Moses, when he came down from Mount Sinai,
Yeah.
he had to put a veil over
Yeah.
his face because his face was shining.
Make of
He
a
was
man's
in
face
Mount
to
Sinai,
shine.
Yeah.
40 days and 40 nights.
You know, I've been there.
Mount Sinai.
Yeah.
Okay.
I climbed the mountain in 2011.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because at that mount, we received the laws and commandments as a people.
There, up there, yeah.
That's when we became a holy people.
Yeah.
We became a people.
People.
But anyway, go read it.
Yeah, it says his body was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Yeah, polished brass like your color.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Dark brown.
Bronze. Bronze?
Yeah.
Yeah, bronze. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dark
like
brown. Dark brown. Okay, but boom.
that's Daniel
Daniel 10 and 5 to 6.
10.
10, 5 to 6.
Okay? So because the scriptures say at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses,
Yeah.
every word shall be established.
Established.
So this is one witness, this is another witness.
Another.
It's at Revelation 1 and 13, and it says, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot,
Right?
and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Yeah.
His head and his hairs were white like wool,
Yeah.
as white as snow,
Yeah.
and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Now
Yeah.
why is a man's eyes red? It's because he would drink. It tells you that the people said John, they called him a demon because he didn't come. What they say? It said in Matthew's 11. It said
Yeah,
that
since he came drinking and
drinking and eating.
Yeah.
It said, behold, he has a devil or something like that.
Gluttonous.
Glutton, a wine bibble,
Yeah, and a glutton.
Yeah.
and a glutton.
Yeah.
So Yahawashi, he was known for eating and drinking a lot. Okay, go ahead.
And it says, and his feet like unto fine brass, as they burnt in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters.
Exactly, his feet were like they were burnt.
Yeah.
So that's how dark his melanin was. Give me Revelations chapter 2 verse 18 real quick. So that's a second witness. We're gonna get a third witness. We're gonna get the same another witness.
So that's where you got this picture from.
Yeah,
How they
exactly.
describe it.
Yeah, they describe it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So and you have to see, you have to understand how damaging it is for our people to be praying to a white man. Very damaging.
Yeah, you know why? Because when the missionary came to Africa, you know, that's the color they painted to the Africans. So it's like positioning something on your head. And since that time, everybody believed that, okay, white is Jesus, the
Right.
devil is black.
Yeah.
And you know what too, and if I may say something, right? Because they published something on YouTube. Was YouTube published this thing
Yeah.
on BBC?
Yeah.
BBC published it.
Yeah.
What they showed on the BBC News network, what they did was this: they showed 2 images.
Yeah.
They showed one image of so-called blacks worshiping
Thank you,
white
yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
and one image of the popes,
Yeah.
the high-level popes,
Popes?
worshiping the Black Madonna. So I mean,
Somebody's
I
lying.
grew up with that, so it's a very long time something. I grew up with that mentality,
Yep.
you know, so, and it's not good.
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But the thing about what I wanted to say was is that if the popes, not the black popes, if the popes are worshiping Mary as a so-called black woman and Jesus a so-called black boy, then they know the truth.
They know
that
the
further back what we've been saying all along, how the elites, the upper echelons in these higher level scholars of religion,
Yeah.
they know who we are. They know that you're a Jew. They know that we're the Jews.
Yeah.
But guess what? They don't want to bring that information out
At all.
to the world because then it's just
At
going to
all.
change everything around.
At all.
It's not their job, really, is it?
No, it's not.
It's so bad.
Because
Yeah.
when you take the history away from a people, you also take away their self-awareness.
Exactly.
You take away their self-esteem.
Yeah.
You take away their foundation.
Yeah.
Pretty much they're like a no people.
Yeah.
You can control those people. You can
Yeah.
manipulate those people.
Right.
You can condition those people into a way that benefits and serves your interests.
Yeah.
Right.
So we as a people, we've been created, man, calling us niggers and black,
Yeah.
African American.
Yeah.
And those are two white man's words. Being American comes from the word Americo Vespucci, and African from Leo Scipio Africanus. So those are two white man's words, African and American. You know, so when some people, when you take away their history, they're lost in time. Those people are lost in time.
Vulnerable.
So now the Esau, the white man, he's the cunning, he's the serpent. He deceived the whole world.
Yeah.
He come along and his to maintain his power in the earth is maintained through deception.
Exactly.
Because how can 10% of the world's population deceive the 90%? Have power over 90% through deception,
Yeah.
through lying,
Yeah.
through deceiving. That's the main function of the devil, to deceive,
To deceive.
to lie,
To kill and to steal.
and to destroy. That's
to
what he's ever
destroy.
done.
Yeah.
That's his historical
Oh,
legacy.
oh no.
Okay, so the job of the ant to control the elephant, you gotta make the elephant believe
And he's small.
that he's nothing. In order to control that elephant, for the ant to have power over that elephant. Okay, the ant's gonna say, no, you need me. He's gonna tell that elephant, you need me. I don't need you. You need me. You know what I'm saying? But actually, it's the other way around. The ant needs the elephant. You know what I'm trying to say? They need us. We made Egypt great. The same way we made Britain great. We made their economy great.
Exactly.
Our labor made them great.
Exactly. Absolutely.
But we think that we need them. We don't need them. Okay? First and foremost, we need to come back to who we are. Okay? Because this it tells you in Daniel's the 7th chapter that this beast is going to be destroyed by fire, man.
Yeah.
You want me to get that, brother?
Get that real quick. At the end, not the
Revelation.
not the 4th beast.
Oh, is it?
After the 4th
Yeah,
beast.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The horn. You talking about the horn, right?
Yeah, the little horn that spake verse black.
So Revelation 8, is that 17 or 18?
7,
Is it 18?
9, verse
Is it
9.
9?
Yeah. But let him get this precept first. And we'll get that.
So Revelation 20 and 7 it says, and when the 1,000 years were expired,
I was gonna get that.
Satan shall be loosed out of his prison,
Yeah.
and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth.
And he's done that.
He's done that.
Esau came out of the caves, and took and destroyed certain strongholds in Europe. Okay, the red beast. Because who in the Bible is described as being red?
Yeah.
Esau, Jacob's twin brother, came out red all over. Because Esau's ruling this system,
Okay.
this European Union, the EU.
Yeah.
Okay? The fourth beast, the revival of ancient Rome, is this European Union is ruled by the so-called white man. Okay, get that. Because he's deceiving the nations. Okay? White supremacy, so to speak.
After that, we go and cook. Thank you, brothers. I've learned so much.
And you know what too, in that further, and you should further question yourself, what society am I living in? Rome. You're living in Rome again.
It
Isn't
is
it? The rebirth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now you need to focus on the kingdom to come, which is basically going to be for us and our people. That was promised to our people.
Amen.
Okay, the Gentiles, when you read about the Gentiles, that's speaking about our people
Our people, yes.
that was in a heathen Gentile state of life,
Yeah.
that were alienated from being Israelites. And Paul's job is to go to them and say, you're Israelites.
Yeah.
You can be grafted back in through belief and faith in Yahawashi. Because there was a sacrifice to reconcile us back again, together.
Yeah.
Okay? The Most High is going to have mercy upon us again. And the kingdom,
Is death on the cross.
is
Sacrifice.
through his death, everything's been reconciled back to the Most High again. So if he hadn't have died, we'd all be condemned. So he had to die. That's why he told Peter, said, get behind me, Satan.
Same time.
Because Peter was ignorant at the time. He didn't understand that Yahawashi had to die. He had to die in order for us to get to the kingdom. Get this. That's good. Get this.
Yeah, this is Daniel 7 verse 8. And I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn,
Right?
before whom they were three of the first horn, plucked up by the root.
Which is Spain, Spain, France, and England, I believe. Go ahead.
And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man.
This little horn is talking about America, by the way.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And a mouth speaking great things.
Yeah, exactly.
technology.
LGBT parades. Okay, men or same-sex marriages.
But you know though, brother, that goes into Esau's technology.
Yeah,
With
landing on the
power.
moon and all madness like that, innit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I beheld to the thrones were cast down,
The thrones are passed down. All the rulerships of the nations are passed down.
and this is the third witness too, brother. It says, and I beheld to the throne were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit,
And the Ancient of Days did sit,
Who
which
is
is
he?
the Most High.
Yeah.
whose garment was white as snow, and the hairs of his head like the pure wool.
Good, like this.
Yeah. Afro.
Yeah.
His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels is burning fire.
See, our people gotta know that, and the Most High is a black man. The Most High showed himself as a black man. Okay.
They've deceived the whole world.
Yeah, because the Esau, he's
Honestly,
usurped.
I'm so annoyed.
I can tell.
Huh?
Yeah, because our people look up to this man. They want to creep into bed with him and have children with them. They don't realize that the scriptures say they're the base man, the violent in the earth. That's in Job. They're the lowest of all nations. The Most High loves us and he ate them.
He really loves us.
You know, the Most High
Malachi.
always loves us. That's
We will
what
be
we're
with him in the last day. Amen.
you know, because we're like the woman, a very attractive woman to the Most High.
Yeah.
And that kept on committing adultery and sleeping with other idols and gods. But the Most High, he has such a passion, like a man has towards a woman.
A woman, yeah. He's so
Don't
nice.
start that again.
And we like touching her thighs,
He's so nice. Yeah.
we like touching her breasts.
I wish you good luck.
Don't start him off, love.
No, because what he said, so you have to go.
Yeah.
Get to his
It's because I'm cold. I'm cold.
yeah.
Well done, Oga.
Oh,
Been out here for 5 hours. That's a place for men.
I'll see you guys.
okay. You take care. Yeah, you take care.
We will meet in the kingdom.
Yeah.
And she might very well, yeah.
She might be Deborah.
Yeah.
First time in a long time.
Yeah, no.
Women.
Well, you have righteous ones, but they're quiet though. You don't hear about them. They're not on the YouTube making videos and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they believe, they have faith. The Lord have mercy, man. Okay?
So I was looking at something like the most religious race, and the black people came out number 1 by miles. That's what she said. She went to Mount Sinai because they're always looking for.
She went to Mount Sinai.
Yes,
That's what she
she
said.
climbed it, yeah.
Spiritual connection to it, man.
God damn.
She went literally to Mount Sinai.
She literally took.
Out of all the places in the world, she went to Mount Sinai.
She went to the one place that our ancestors, thousands of years were there. Thousands of years ago, were there. And Moses was there. Marshall was there. Yeah.
Can I read Romans 10? It's at Romans 10 and 1, and it says, Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved.
They're not everybody on the planet. Before his office was to everybody. Why did he say only Israel be saved? But
For I bear them record that they have the zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge.
they have a zeal, they have a passion, okay? They have almost like an unconscious awareness of there being a higher entity. We was created for the Most High. We was groomed for Him. It's within our spirit to acknowledge Him. Even when we're unconscious. Here it is, we're unconscious. We're bugged out. We're no people. We don't know who we are, but we still acknowledge that there's a Creator. Even when we're dead.
Right.
We're dead. We're literally
We're joined
dead.
to him, man. We're joined to
We're
him.
in the grave. The scriptures talk about the valley of dry bones. Here it is, we're dead. We're in the graveyard, but we're still acknowledging the Most High.
Yeah.
That shows you that it's a spiritual thing.
Right.
It's not a physical thing. It's a spiritual thing where we acknowledge the Most High. So we have a zeal of the Most High. Go ahead.
For I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge.
Yeah.
For they, being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High.
And that's the 2/3 of our people, man. They're just going off they're doing what seems right in their own eyes, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're going off. Okay? But the elect, scripture says, some shall wake up out of the dust to everlasting life. Okay? And some to everlasting what? Shame and contempt, man. Alright? So that's the 2/3 that want to go about in their own righteousness. Let's go to that Daniels. That was good. You actually get into that. Okay?
Yeah, this is Daniel's 12 verse 3.
I'm not in the mood to talk to him. I swear to God, I'm not in the mood to talk to him, man. Go ahead.
And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness, and as the stars forever and ever.
We go up with us.
It's like it says, and they that be wise shall shine.
Go up with us.
Oh, you want to read that again?
Yeah.
Okay. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Right, everlasting contempt, man. Because, like I said, those of you guys that can't get it right now, you are gonna wake up in the kingdom, and you're gonna be plagued for eternity, man. Being constantly reminded that all you had to do was hold it fast, man, till I come. Hold it fast, man. So they say, that we have already hold fast till I come. That's all you had to fucking do, man. But you wanted to take your hand off the plow and turn back and fall off that narrow path leading to the broad. And that's gonna plague you forever, man. Alright? But that's what you wanted to do.
Lost faith.
Yeah, Jesus lost. What?
I'm asking what it's about.
This is
You're
about the Hebrew
finished.
Israelites. Hebrew Israelites.
Something to do with Christianity or nothing like that.
Something to do with the Bible.
You don't believe in it or?
Huh?
You don't believe in it or?
Yeah, we believe in it. Yeah.
Oh, you believe in Christ, you're Christianity?
Yeah, the Bible. The Bible. Yeah.
I believe in the Bible as well.
Yeah. Alright? So where's we going now?
Daniel's 12.
Yeah.
Actually, that was it on that, you know.
Yeah, let's go back to Daniel 7. So I like that 7 one.
Oh, you know the topic was Ezekiel 36.
Oh yeah, get that.
Yeah, just throwing it me just now.
These are Colossians 1:23, and it says, if you continue in the faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel, which ye have heard, and which was preached to every creature which is under heaven, whereof I, Paul, I am made a minister.
Read that again.
If you continue in the faith, grounded and settled,
And you continue in the faith, grounded and settled, man. Certain guys, you uncertain, man. You shaking to and fro like a child with every wind of doctrine, man. You have to be grounded, man, meaning you gotta know that this is it. This has gotta be the truth. This has gotta be what I'm looking for. You're not just in it to be in it. You in it because you see it. You see afar off. You see eternity. You see the eternal, not temporal.
You see the reward too, because I know like basically pretty much, right? Like I know a lot of us when we first came into the truth, we were excited because we heard the word, and we also heard that we were the Israelites, and knowing that we knew that we were the Israelites, we knew, okay, the Lord is going to take us to the kingdom now. The Lord is going to revert us back to who we are, and everything's going to go good from now. You know what I mean?